What up, world? I'm Steve, founder and CEO of Crypto Crew University. This is where we make crypto simple. Today, another exciting video, a fascinating video. There is a chart that has correctly predicted the past 8 months of Bitcoin. This is going to blow your mind. If you're new here, join the movement. Hit that subscribe button right now. Now over 40,000 subscribers. Special thank you to everybody. You guys are incredible. If you guys are watching right now, give that video a thumbs up, and I appreciate you guys. Before we get into this fascinating video, this has been devastating, right? This has been devastating week, and you probably have lost money. In fact, you probably lost a lot of money. It's been very stressful. I want to help you guys stop losing money. That is important money to you to provide for your family and grow your retirement. Well, guess what? My students sold at 8,400 who took the advanced and pro classes because my simple step-by-step strategy, there's 3 steps, told them to sell at 8,004. So not only did they protect their money and they didn't lose money on this downturn, they made money. I want to help you guys stop losing money. That's important money. If you know you've lost money during this past move and in the past few weeks, it's time to make a change today. We've got the top-rated crypto classes in the industry. Provide for your family, grow your retirement, protect your money. These are the 2 choices that you need to pay attention to. This one is the top seller on the entire website. It's a combo of the intermediate, advanced, and pro all together. Save $150 right now, limited time only. If you guys remember, 3 weeks ago, this was save $215. So don't hesitate. Act now. I don't want to see you guys miss this opportunity to save $150 before the price goes back up. Limited time only. This is all 4 series. Save $200. Links in the description, cryptocrewuniversity.com. Now, let's get into this video. This is going to be fascinating. So, the past 8 months have been absolutely a roller coaster. It's been an emotional roller coaster, and a lot of people are wondering, where is the next move going? For example, right now we're at 6,268. Everybody is wondering, is that next move going to be a break below this bottom here, or are we going to break back up and test our previous level here? In fact, we've been wondering these moves the past 8 months, but there's one chart, and one chart only, that has correctly predicted the past 8 months. We've covered it a lot on this channel, and it's a little bit controversial because a lot of people still have an old mindset about this chart. But we're going to unveil it today. And if you guys have seen us compare this chart before, that helped us correctly predict the majority of these moves. Granted, we have had some incorrect calls here and there, but this chart has been incredibly, incredibly accurate. If you've seen us compare this chart before, we're going to have 2 new categories of the chart that we're going to unveil today, as well as we're going to talk about what do we believe is the next move according to this chart. So it's pretty simple, guys. This has been a bear market. We've been calling that it's been a bear market way back since this spike down here, and we had to move back up here to 12, and everybody thought it's bull market. We've been very consistent the past handful of months calling it a bear market, and with that, we have compared it to the only other bear market in the history of Bitcoin, and that's this chart right here. Now, I'm going to take you guys on this journey and explain to you how powerful this chart is. I want this to be a lesson so that you guys can take this with you. I've been trading for 17 years. I traded through the dot-com bubble back when I was 16 years old. I learned a lot about what a bear market was at 16, even though at that point I thought I knew everything because I read a whole lot of investment books. Then in the big world financial crisis, which started with a housing crisis of 2008, I invested through that as well right after college. So this is a bear market. I know bear markets very well. And let me explain to you how powerful this chart is. So this is 2014. We're going to start in 2013. We had a massive run up in 2013 and a top in December, and then followed by a 70% correction. So what happened in 2018? Well, we had a massive run up. We had a top in December and then a 70% correction. To the T, guys. Well, what happened next was this blue line is our bottom, represents our floor. We formed this bottom back in February. You guys remember February very well. This, our second bottom, didn't quite touch, and our third bottom broke market structure. Well, let's see what happened in 2014. The second bottom didn't quite touch. The third bottom broke market structure. So what happened after that is fascinating. We're going to cover these recent moves and how they're absolutely identical. What I want you to do is pay attention to this third arrow here. Again, this is in 2014. We had our third bottom, which broke market structure. We've discussed this at length. When you break market structure, it's a terrible sign. And we've said it in multiple videos. Bitcoin can run, but it can't hide. So in the long term, it's bad news. In the short term, we can still go on a run. So pay attention to this third arrow. We broke market structure, and then Bitcoin went on a nice run. Where did it stop? Right at the 50-day moving average. Well, let's go back to 2018. 2018, look at the third arrow. Look at the third arrow. Third arrow, again, right here at the bottom of your screen. We broke market structure. We went on a run. We got rejected by the 50-day moving average. The 50-day is the green one. The 200-day is the red one. I deleted the 100-day because it doesn't provide any significance into these chart analysis. So we got rejected by this 50-day. Well, what happened next? We fell right back to our support level. How do we know that was our support level? We looked left. Look left and you see, okay, it had held resistance and then previously held support. Well, what happened in 2014? Well, we got rejected by the 50-day. We broke right back down to this purple line here, which is our support. Again, look left, right out the arrow, it held resistance. Right before the arrow, it held support. To the T, identical. I told you guys this was absolutely going to blow your mind. We have a lot more to share in this video, as well as some indicators. And on top of that, everybody wants to know, Steve, what is Bitcoin going to do next? If this chart correctly has predicted the past 8 months, what does it say we're going to do next? Because right now, we're at 6,281. Well, look what happened next, guys. So we'll go from the 2018 chart. We understand that we got rejected with this mini run by the 50-day. We held support where we were supposed to based on our past bear market. What happened next? Before we get into that, there's a big misconception with Steve. You can't compare 2018 to 2014. This is what the herd will say. And the herd, what I mean by that is the majority. Remember, in crypto or in stocks or in bonds or in ETFs or anything financial, about 90% of humans will lose money. That's the majority of people. If you follow what the majority of people are saying, guess what? You're going to get the same results as them. The majority of people are saying you can't compare 2014 to 2018. They had Mt. Gox. The time was different. There was less money. It was moving slower. And all of those things are completely false. If you pay attention to the successful people, the 10%, they are studying past analytics, past data, past price action, in the only past bear market in the history of Bitcoin. So please take a second, if you still believe that, do a little bit of studying, because I don't want you guys to continue losing money. I don't want you to continue losing money. You want to be right the next 8 months. You know that you've been incorrect the past 8 months. So back here, what did Bitcoin do, right? We got rejected by this 50-day. We held back our support, and then we went on a rally. Again, we called this rally back below 6,000. We called this rally because of the chart I'm showing you right now. And this is the chart we've uncovered in many videos, and we're going to share a couple new things here in a minute. So we got rejected by the 50-day, down to our support, and we broke through the 50-day. We rallied all the way up, and then got rejected by the 200-day. Well, Steve, what did it do in 2014? Was it similar? Did it hold its support, break through the 50-day, rally all the way up? It's showing incredible strength, but then got rejected by the 200-day? Let's check. 2014, look at our third bottom here. We got first rejected by the 50-day. We held our support like we talked about. We broke through the 50-day, went on a massive rally, and got rejected by the 50-day. The 200-day. To the T, what happened? And my apologies to everybody. I was predicting that we were going to this, our previous high. That's what I thought was going to happen from the beginning. We ended up getting rejected by the 50-day in both. So I do apologize for that. However, to my students, I did a bonus class to you guys on July 31st. Where is that? July 31st. So it's this candle here. And I saw that in the charts. So if you guys have read my reviews, I do a lot of bonus classes for my students because I love my students and I tried to really provide so much knowledge and wisdom to them so that they can save a lot of money and make a lot of money. So we talked about that. We talked about the ETF and the Golden Cross in that bonus class that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you guys watched. But I'm sorry to all of the YouTubers where I thought we were going to rally to this previous high. Now, what did Bitcoin do after that is fascinating. What we were supposed to do was get rejected by this 200-day, move down to the 50-day, garner support. That's what we did. That's what we did. We broke through, we garnered support on the 50-day, and this is when we did a video and said this could be a great opportunity or it could be disastrous. And we talked about that level, 6,800. And we held that level and the 50-day, and then we got the news from ETF delay. Just a delay caused an absolute pandemonium in the market, which tells you the health and wellness of this market. In a healthy market, that same news wouldn't have done anything. Now, we were supposed to hold this 50-day, and we were supposed to rally back up to 8,500. Obviously, that news really threw that in the garbage, and we sped up the process of this move. Before we get into where we are now in the move, I want to show you guys some other indicators. We're going to pull up the RSI and the stochastics, and there's some other fascinating information here. We're going to particularly look at this move, right? We broke, we got rejected by the 50-day, we held support, we broke through the 50-day and up to the 200-day. Remember, that's 2014. The RSI at that moment in 2014 was the highest that we have seen in about 6 or 7 months. Well, what happened in 2018? We're going to take a look at the RSI and the stochastics as well. If we pull that up here, now we're going to take a look. So this is what we're talking about. We got rejected by the 50-day. We moved down to our support, broke through the 50-day, went on a massive rally, got rejected by the 200-day. The RSI, again, was the highest that we had seen in 6 or 7 months. Guys, to the T, absolutely accurate. To the T. The only blemish in this chart is what happened when the ETF news came out, which is like the past week. That's the only time, because we were supposed to ride up on this 50-day and get rejected again from this situation. We were supposed to ride up to 8,005 again, but the news pushed us down. So the big question now is, what is the chart saying next? Because this move basically sped us up a few weeks. And I'm going to show you on the chart what I'm talking about right now. So before we get to that, I just want to stress, guys, this is all about learning, all right? What we try to do here, my goal in life is to change as many lives as I can through crypto. That's it. I've got a lot of experience, 17 years, and that's my goal. That's what wakes me up. That's what gets me juiced up every day. And I do these free videos to try to impact your life. All right? I try my best to impact your life. And what I want to do with this scenario is open your eyes to something a little bit different. because not a lot of people are comparing these charts, and they've been absolutely accurate. So the next thing we're going to talk about is what are we doing next? Right now we're at 6,280, and we need to talk about what this next move is. What I want to show you right now before we get to that is my website, CryptoCrewUniversity.com. We have a perfect 5-star rating from 150 students. Top-rated crypto classes in the industry. I'm going to read you a quick review from Antoinette. Antoinette says, "Don't take this the wrong way. You are missing out if you don't buy these courses. I've made 25 times more than I paid." Yes, I said 25 times more than I paid for the courses because of Steve's wisdom. This is only in 1 month. I bought the intermediate, advanced, and the pro. This is the combo that I told you guys. You can save $150 on limited time only right now. It's the top selling item on our website. You are losing money every day that you don't order his courses. He does extra videos for only his students, and each of those videos I've made money from. So easy and actually fun. He's an amazing teacher. Thank you. So I want to say thank you to Antoinette and all of my students. You guys are incredible, and I love inspiring you guys and helping you change your life. So take Antoinette's advice, guys. You don't want to keep losing money during these downfalls. My students who took the Advanced and Pro sold at 8,400, following my 3 simple steps. So take the advice, CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Now, I want to get to what's going to happen next. And what I want to show you is, remember recently we did a video with all of these red candles. I think there were 12 red candles in the span of 13 days or so. A massive amount of red candles. It's only happened 2 other times in history. 2 other times in history. When were those times, you ask? Well, if we zoom ahead here, what I want to have you pay attention to is this purple line. Pay attention to this purple line where my cursor is right now. Why that's important is, look at the support and resistance that we held right before this was our 3rd bottom. So remember, our 3rd bottom went up, it touched this 50-day, and we came back to support. And then we went on that massive rally. Guess where we came right back to with a correction, right where we were supposed to. If you want to know where we're going to crash down to, look left. We know our support levels right here, and that's exactly where we came to back in 2014. On about August, we touched down on about August 14th. What's the date today, guys? Pay attention to this. This is very fascinating. Right before we touched down on that support level, look at all the red candles we had. There's only 2 other times in history that we had this many red candles in a span of 10 to 11 days. This is one of them, right before we touched down. Well, what happened today? We had a whole bunch of these red candles in a row. We touched right down on our support. Look at our level of support. It was our support right before, right here. It was our resistance here, and ours our support here. Exactly to the T of what happened in 2014. So, given that, if we are in fact right here in the charts, right around August, we've got some danger approaching. In the big picture, I'm going to show you the big picture first, and then we'll talk about what's going to happen in the next week or 2. So the big picture is we're going to have a rough go. All right, we're going to have a rough go through August and potentially September. September really had these red candles absolutely. If you pay attention to the date of this as well, where this could potentially happen is right around September 30th, where that ETF is going to be updated right at about September 30th. And if we coincide, we're going to have these red candles pretty much exactly as we did in 2014. So that's the big picture is, and we've explained this in many videos. I still stand with what I said very early on. One of my first predictions when we had this market, and I made these predictions, I think, back in February when we were up here and everybody thought we were in a bull market. I said, worst case scenario, we're going to go to 3,000. And that's based on my experience in a bear market. I've experienced several of them over many years, and I stand by that. I think we're worst case around 3,000, and we broke market structure. We talked about it in many videos. We broke market structure and we said Bitcoin can run, but it can't hide. We said we broke market structure, big problem long term, but short term we're going on a run and we're going to have problem at the top of the run. So that hasn't changed. We still stand directly behind that. But what happens in the short term could be somewhat good. All right, we have this bottom here. If this is our bottom, if this is where we are today, Bitcoin ran up into its previous little run. All right, if we measure that, remember that run that Bitcoin went on and got rejected by the 50-day? Well, we could have a run up to there. So we could have a run up to, if we did that, it would be 6,008, which we would get rejected by the 50-day again. So if we talk about short term, we want to see what Bitcoin does with this 50-day. It's more than likely that we're going to have a nice little bounce off of these lows because we're pretty overextended. So I look for us to have a bounce off of these lows. I look for us to battle with 6,800, and unless we get some big catalyst coming into the market, it's not very likely that we're going to get over this. We're going to pay close attention as we get close, but that's what we're looking for. All right, a bounce into this 6,800 level and the 50-day. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments what coin you would like covered in our next video. Just make sure you're subscribed, leave a positive comment, and we'll cover your coin in the next video. If you guys haven't already, make sure you give a big thumbs up. Comment on this video what you think is going to happen, and let me know what your thoughts are relative to 2014, 2018. Where do you guys stand on that? And if you haven't done so already, I want you to stop losing money. Today is the day you're going to make a change. Now is the time to make a change. You know you've lost money on this move. You know you've lost money on the other moves. You know that money is important to you, your family, and your retirement. Today is time to make a change. CryptoCrewUniversity.com. I look forward to welcoming you in. Thank you for all of your support. 40,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And I love this. I love you guys, and thank you for your overwhelming support. I look forward to seeing you back here on the next video. Peace and love to the Crypto Crew.